4.
From Murphy Hall to the top of the hill, from Sunset down to Wilshire, we're there to bring you the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. Now from our studio in Kirkhoff Hall, this is Bruin News 29.
Hello and welcome again to Bruin News 29. We've got a great show for you today, filled with exclusive stories.
Are you thinking about ways to keep up with midterms? Are you looking for your own Valentine? Well, stay tuned for the answers to these stories and more. I'm Eva Poon.
And I'm Jackie Gutierrez. Let's get the show going. When most of us think of stores that receive their merchandise from sweatshops, the usual suspects that come to mind are Forever 21 and Kmart. We'll get ready to add the UCLA store to the list. It turns out, according to the Social Justice Alliance, that UCLA has been looking the other way when buying their bearwear. Here with more of the story is Bruin News 29 reporter Nisreen.
Whether it's on their leg or across their chest, here at UCLA it is not uncommon to see students wearing their Bruin pride by donning duds bought from the UCLA store.
Do you buy clothes from the UCLA store?
I do. Some, yeah.
But now, could that Bruin pride be replaced by Bruin shame? This turn has now become a possibility amidst allegations made by the Social Justice Alliance claiming that the UCLA store buys its clothes from illegal sweatshops.
Until I can be sure that Bruin wear is not made in sweatshops, I won't be buying any of it.
These sentiments, however, are not the norm, as most students will more than likely continue to patron the UCLA store for all their Bruin wear needs.
I'm still going to buy UCLA clothing, so.
I still buy clothes from other places that are probably made in sweatshops, so it's kind of hypocritical.
On February 8th, in an effort to combat student apathy, the Social Justice Alliance put together a panel comprised of unionized workers from third world countries looking to expand unionization throughout their region, as well as to encourage students to lobby American companies to stop denying work to unionized factories. In addition, Jose Laura, a Denev Dining employee, spoke of his horror when he found out that UCLA uniforms were made from child labor sweatshops.
I'm asking you for your support to let housing and the university to buy proper uniforms from us. They are made and paid for in America.
The event, however, was criticized for not taking into consideration the possibility that if sweatshops and child labor were to be abolished, some third world children would instead only have prostitution to turn to in order to sustain a living. But the group claimed that their main goal was not to abolish factories, but rather to reform them.
In general, child labor is wrong, but what we're doing is a general improvement of conditions for everyone who are working in the factories.
Regardless what SJA's end result is meant to be, no one can deny that sweatshops remain a problem throughout our increasingly globalized world, and that something needs to be done about their pervasiveness. For Bruin News 29, I'm Nisreen Habal.
The UCLA store could not be reached for comments, but we will keep you posted on any new developments.
We're halfway through the quarter, and for those of you who missed out on some campus events this week, we've got a quick recap of what's going on at UCLA.
Even with all the midterms and papers that were due this week, Bruin still found time to participate in and organize different activities and rallies. In the midst of all the flying on Bruin Walk, members of the Christian Campus Crossroads Ministry made a silent but public demonstration, apologizing for what they believe are certain wrongdoings that have been associated with their religion. The sight of students bowing in prayer next to a big banner certainly caught some people's attention. The Student Alliance for Freedom in Education and the Women Active in Letters and Social Change organized the rally to defend academic freedom of UCLA faculty and students. The rally was partly in response to the Bruin Alumni Association's Dirty 30 website about the most radical professors at UCLA. Students gathered in front of Kirkhoff Hall to listen to speeches given by students and classics professor Catherine King, who was also featured on the Dirty 30 website. Students of the UCLA Alumni Association rewarded students who wore UCLA apparel and showed school spirit by giving them stickers and candy. In the effort to raise school spirit, Alumni Association members will hold random events like this one every month. So Bruins, keep your eyes open for prizes just for having UCLA spirit.
It's quick, easy, and it'll boost your test scores overnight. But is it a good idea to use a prescription drug to study? Bruin News 29 takes a closer look at the growing trend of students using Adderall before their exams.
It's that time again. With midterms around the corner, students are hitting the books hard. But when traditional study methods aren't enough, some turn to these. Study drugs. Adderall, a prescription drug used to treat attention disorders such as ADD or ADHD, has become the miracle pill for those seeking to make the grade. But if it's a prescription drug, how does a student get his hands on it without a prescription?
Through friends of friends and just people.
While this student has asked to stay anonymous, he says that the main reason that students use the drug is because it works.
It does help you to stay up and to focus. It does, in my experience, I've had good results. It helps me to get good grades on tests when I'm studying.
While Adderall users are happy with the results they get here in the classroom, other students consider the use of study drugs unfair to everyone else.
I think it's sort of like cheating. I think it's easier if you just do like regular stuff like coffee or tea or whatever keeps you up.
But when it comes down to it, the drug works, and people are still going to use it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on using it.
For this student, and for 20% of other college students around the nation, A is for Adderall. Anthony Pura, Bruin News 29.
The time for midterms has come around again, but if you're as sick of studying as I am, come take a break with me as I go check out the Eclectic series in Kirchhoff Coffee House. What is it? Let's go find out. Week 5 was anything but ordinary and boring at Kirchhoff Coffee House. USAC's Cultural Affairs Commission hosted an open mic event for students to express their feelings on a common theme of love. The bi-weekly event was part of the Eclectic series, a series of open mic nights at Kirchhoff. Let's have a peek at how some UCLA students chose to express
All I can think about is your hormones. The blood rushes down. Hey, what do you expect? Your body's getting ready for sex. Ejaculation is getting close. The seminiferous tubules release sperm by the dose. Past the epididymis through the vas deferens. You better be in love and not just be friends.
Though it may have happened before, you don't have to spend February 14th alone this year. Get your pen and pad ready to take notes on how to get a Valentine.
February 14th, Valentine's Day, the day designated for couples to show each other how much they care. Too bad for the rest of us it's just another Singles Awareness Day. Or is it? This week on Bruin News 29, we'll show you how to get a Valentine. Whether you ask a friend or someone you want to be more than friends with, cheer up a lonely Bruins Day by asking them to share the 14th with you. Here are some ways fellow students have asked.
Very extreme ways with, people in full costumes and stuff, which is kind of extreme but very funny at the same time. So, singing grams, kind of, that he sent to his girlfriend to ask.
Yo, baby, let's go to the beach and let's go out to dinner.
I'm flying to St. Louis to see her, but I only get to see her on the Monday before. But it's hard when it's on Tuesday, so you do what you have to do, right?
But even without plans and costumes, Valentine's Day can be special.
Guys think that Valentine's Day is this big deal, they have to do something to impress girls, but really it's not that hard. All you have to do is think about, let them know that you're thinking about them, like a card with a nice message is nice, taking her out to dinner, or something small like that, it's fine.
And for this special holiday, the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory in Westwood is offering 15% off all chocolate-covered strawberries for UCLA students if they order by the 9th. For those lucky enough to have found their life partners,
Since I have been married, every day has been Valentine's Day.
Then, of course, you can always ask on Bruin News.
Cat, will you be my Valentine?
Megan, will you be my Valentine?
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and especially to my lovely husband.
Hey Bruins, I hope we've given you enough ideas on how to ask someone to be yours. From Bruin News 29, this is Caroline Park wishing you a happy Valentine's Day.
What's Hollywood doing for Valentine's Day? Well, if you've been following the latest breakup news, absolutely nothing. Not only did Heather Locklear and Richie Sambora just announce the end to their 10-year marriage, but Lance Armstrong proved not strong enough to be Sheryl Crow's man, as the two have called off their engagement as well. Jude Law and Sienna Miller have finally announced the end to their on-again, off-again relationship. And brace yourself, Bruins, Madonna and Guy Ritchie are even rumored to be calling it quits. Maybe some of these celebrities need to take some of our advice, because it looks like it's going to be a very lonely Valentine's Day in Tinseltown.
Wednesday was music's biggest night at the annual Grammy Awards. The ceremony took place right here in LA, and some popular favorites showed up to receive the industry's top honors. U2 was a big winner, taking home a total of 5 awards, including one for Album of the Year, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. Kanye West, nominated for a total of 8 awards, won Best Rap Album for Late Registration, as well as Best Rap Solo, Performance, and Best Rap Song. Other big winners included Kelly Clarkson, who took trophies for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Female Pop Vocal Performances. Best New Artist John Legend and Mariah Carey, who won 3 awards given out before the primetime show. The evening's notable performances included Mariah Carey, Paul McCartney with Jay-Z in Linkin Park, and a surprising appearance by Sly Stone.
Thank you all for tuning in this week. Be sure to watch next week for more great info.
Stay tuned for our sports show. We will be back and take a look at the freshman basketball class. Hello and welcome to another edition of Bruin News 29 Sports. I'm Jackie Gutierrez. We have a great show for you today with our latest basketball news and even a look at our underrepresented women's lacrosse team.
And also, with Valentine's Day right around the corner, we have a little something special in store for you today, so stick around. I'm Eva Poon. Let's get started.
Another week in UCLA sports has wrapped up Bruins in brief. We will provide you with the update.
The 5th-ranked Bruin men's volleyball team sweeps UC Santa Cruz 3-0 during their 69-minute match on Friday the 3rd. The key players of the game were juniors Steve Klosterman and Paul George, with a combining a set 27 kills, leaving the Slugs defenseless. This recent win sets a 6-5 overall record for the Bruins.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Bruin News 29 Sports. I'm Jackie Gutierrez. We have a great show for you today with our latest basketball news and even a look at our underrepresented women's lacrosse team.
And also, with Valentine's Day right around the corner, we have a little something special in store for you today, so stick around. I'm Eva Poon. Let's get started.
Another week in UCLA sports has wrapped up Bruins in brief. We will provide you with the update.
The 5th-ranked Bruin men's volleyball team sweeps UC Santa Cruz 3-0 during their 69-minute match on Friday the 3rd. The key players of the game were juniors Steve Klosterman and Paul George, with a combining a set 27 kills, leaving the Slugs defenseless. This recent win sets a 6-5 overall record for the Bruins.
Of Jim Svoboda, from quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator, with a long list of accomplishments in coaching, including his guidance of this year's star quarterback, Drew Olson. Svoboda, looks like a great new addition to the Bruin coaching staff.
With Valentine's Day quickly approaching, we thought it would be a perfect time to find out about our warm, fuzzy Bruins and see what they have in store for Valentine's Day.
We're here outside the athletic department today, getting some Bruin athletes' thoughts on Valentine's Day.
I'd have to say Chris Sims, quarterback for Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'd probably just say Nelly on the volleyball team.
Kyle Morgan.
My biggest athlete crush would have to be Jason Taylor from Miami Dolphins. He's fine.
Big Ben Olsen.
He is the savior of the program, therefore he is my crush.
In high school, my ex-boyfriend, I came home from practice and he put a whole bunch of Hershey Kisses on my floor in my room and a card, and the card said, "I kiss the ground you walk on."
Probably the time in 5th grade when I got the most Valentine's Day cards in the whole class. I got 75, including 3 from teachers. Actually, no, I did have a crush on my teacher in 1st grade. And I didn't get a card from her, but it was still nice. Mrs. Christ, if you're out there, how you doing?
This year, definitely Singles Awareness Day. But in the future, hopefully Valentine's Day.
Probably Valentine's Day. Probably be a special one this year.
I mean, I do, but I can't spill the beans to you guys because she would know. But I have some special planned for Valentine's Day.
I'm Lindsay Olson for Bruin News 29 Sports.
Jackie, if you could go on a date with any professional athlete, who would you choose?
You know, I think I'd have to choose an old UCLA alum, Troy Aikman. And he just got inducted into the... He just got inducted. Who would you take out on a date?
I think I'd have to go with Tom Brady. Even though he won the Super Bowl last year and he was last year's news, he's still hot enough to date.
Well, thanks, Bruins, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our show.
Get out there and support all your UCLA sports. See you all next week.